Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Ina Solo and I decided to check out something from the Fed Files again because I freaking adore this man, the way that he makes the videos. He gives you so much information and I think that I have learned so much in the past from his videos. So today I decided to go with Waffle House, the Roman Colosseum of the South. This is obviously very interesting. Especially considering that I have no idea what this is gonna be. Like, I know what waffles are, obviously, but I don't know Waffle House. I'm just assuming that it's going to be some type of chain place. I do live in Italy. I've never been in the US, so that's why I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna be learning a little bit here. And also, the Roman Colosseum of the South is quite a funny title, considering that I do live in Italy, but I'm sure that the actual Colosseum has nothing to do with this. But yeah, with no further ado, let's get into this one. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go. And let me know if you love waffles, because I freaking adore them.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I actually debated on which channel I was going to upload this video on because on one hand, we're going over a business and the business model that it has. But on the other hand, this restaurant is basically the Roman Colosseum of the South. And I'm pretty sure if you eat there enough, you actually get a deployment patch from the US military. Regardless, I wore my schnazziest tank top for the occasion.
Okay.
Today we're talking about Waffle House. Okay, just to be completely clear with everybody, I was pretty sure I was not going to get caught off guard because Waffle House is already absolutely crazy. I started looking into it and then found out that Waffle House is somehow connected to the Manhattan Project from World War II. So they managed to actually surprise me, and we're going to get
Manhattan Project? Okay, that's quite heavy.
All right, Waffle House. Our story begins with a gentleman by the name of Tom Forkner. This man graduated from law school at 23 years old, passed the bar, and immediately gets drafted in 1940 in the days leading up to World War II. Because he graduated from college, he's presented with two different options. He can A, go straight into officer training, and that's a 3-year commitment, or he can just be a normal draftee and go in as an enlisted soldier, and that is a 1-year commitment. Now, you gotta remember at this point in time, like 1940, while World War II is currently going on, America's not involved yet. The attack on Pearl Harbor has not happened, and prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor, the American people did not want to go to war. Because of that, Tom Forkner figures, hey, we're not actually going off to war. I don't want to waste 3 years of my time just being in the military, not actually, fighting a war or whatever. So he chooses to be a draftee. Goes into the military as an enlisted soldier, E1 private. From there, goes off to basic training. As soon as he gets through basic training, the attack on Pearl Harbor ends up happening. America enters the war. He immediately opts to go into OCS training and commits for 3 years. After he completes the officer training course, he actually gets slotted to be a counterintelligence officer, where he does, and I quote, a lot of top secret stuff.
You see, my identity must remain mysterious and my mission secret. I cannot reveal it to you.
You can actually tell in the interviews that he gave later on in his life, like in his 70s, 80s, and 90s, that he's still not sure what he is and what he isn't allowed to talk about. But he did end up telling us that basically it was his job to try to sneak onto military bases, not as military personnel. So he would basically disguise himself as like a painter or a carpenter or whatever and try to infiltrate a US military base to expose weaknesses within the system to help counteract enemy spies. So he does that for a couple of years. And then
that sounds super dangerous. Like, I know that that's something that a lot of businesses in a lot of different industries do. Like, if you have a tour company, every now and then you're gonna send a random tourist to check like on the weak spot of a tour, to see like how your the guide and the driver are doing. But like, that's one scenario. There's a specific word for it. I can think about it right now, but it happens a lot. While military bases, that sounds dangerous as hell, because like, what if they get you? What if they figure out that something's off? Like, just saying, sounds dangerous to me.
Day he ends up getting orders like, hey, you're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And he's like, okay, for what? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it, just show up. So he shows up in Tennessee and he's given his orders, and those orders, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're essentially, hey, here's your partner. You two are gonna hop in that truck and you are gonna drive it from Knoxville, Tennessee to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You guys are gonna dress in plain clothes. You're not gonna look at what's inside the truck. You're not gonna talk about what's inside the truck. You're gonna take this map and take that exact route. This route avoids every major city and every major highway. You are gonna drive straight there, 53 hours straight, taking turns sleeping in the passenger seat and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. And he does this for the next year and a half, pretty much non-stop, and then like 20, 30 years after the fact, he finds out that he was actually hauling the majority of the enriched uranium for all of the nuclear testing and the building of nuclear weapons. Which, as we all know, brings about the
That's a Project Manhattan, right? Yeah.
end of World War II, at which point he gets out of the military, moves back home to Atlanta, Georgia, starts helping his dad out with his real estate agency. Now, he does that for about 10 years, and during this time, he ends up selling the house right next door to his to another guy by the name of Joe Rogers, and they pretty much become best friends.
Wait,
Joe Rogers was also an
that?
Army veteran. He was actually a pilot that flew
I heard
B-24s
that
in
name
World War
before.
II. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to
Wait, sorry, silly question, but again, I'm not from the US. Joe Rogan, wasn't he a president at some point? Or like, I know of his name, I just, brain isn't braining, I can figure out who he is.
pilot that flew B-24s in World War II. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to college, so he actually just took the first job that he was offered, being a short order cook at a now defunct restaurant chain known as Waffle House. He worked his way up, becoming a restaurant manager, then eventually becoming a regional manager. And then one day, his neighbor and best friend, Tom Forkner, real estate agent, always looking for the next investment, comes to him and is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own restaurant. I can get the real estate deal going on that side. I just wanted to know, like, if I opened up and bought a franchise of Waffle House, would you be willing to run it for me? Now, at this point, it's like 1954, 1955. Joe Rogers has a ton of experience inside the...
Oh my gosh, I just had a major brain is braining moment. So this guy is Joe Rogers, while who I'm thinking about is Joe Rogan. Wait, no, I need to know. Sorry, I need to check. I need to check. Joe Rogan, I think, right? Joe Rogan? Okay, there's a Joe Rogan guy, but he's definitely not president. Oh my gosh, wait. Former US President Roger versus Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, that's who I was thinking about. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I should go to sleep. I should go to sleep. Sorry, I'm losing focus on the video.
Restaurant industry, and he basically tells his best friend, like, hey, don't open a Waffle House. You should start your own thing. Waffle House's business model isn't that great. If you start your own restaurant, I will help you run it. He then goes off on vacation with his family, and by the time he comes back, Tom Forkner has already bought the real estate and comes to Rogers and is like, cool, what's the business we're starting?
Where's
Oh,
Pancakes
okay, just like that.
What? We stop at Pancakes House.
Just like that.
And within the span of like
I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was,
Why did you do
give
that?
me all the bacon and eggs you have.
So Waffle House is obviously doing something right. What exactly are they doing? Well, it all comes down to their business model and their branding. Now, with the Waffle House branding, all the negative PR about fights always breaking out at Waffle House, in a way, has actually
Okay,
helped.
but I have a question. Why do fights always break out here and not at like Taco Bell? Why? Why? What is there a reason? Do people get mad over breakfast food?
Them out a ton, because Waffle House, by and large, is pretty much a regional chain. It's primarily down in the South. Yet, Waffle House has become a household name pretty much everywhere in America. You could have never even seen a Waffle House, and you already know Waffle House is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and they serve
24?
breakfast. Why do you know they serve breakfast? Because their name is fucking Waffle House. I mean, look at this sign. You're driving down the road, you see that, you know everything you need to know. They sell breakfast. The end. Do that with another breakfast place. If you're not from there and you don't know what a Denny's or a Perkins or an IHOP is, you have no idea. It's just a restaurant, maybe. Waffle House, they're selling waffles, which means there's like a 99% chance they sell other breakfast food. Fucking sold, I'm in. So already, the branding is absolutely incredible, but here's the true genius of it. Why did they call it Waffle House? Why didn't they call it Breakfast House or Bacon House or Hash Brown House? It's because waffles had the highest profit margin. I cannot stress to you enough how absolutely genius that is, right? Because you don't need to sell breakfast, all right? Everybody's already in on breakfast, okay? I could be blackout drunk at 4 in the morning, and you could ask me, hey, do you want breakfast? I'm coming up like the Undertaker every single time. And then you go, the only thing open right now is Waffle House, okay? I was already sold on breakfast from the get-go, but because Waffle House is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle, and they're making more money. It makes sense that Tom Forkner was a counterintelligence officer because the man literally said 2 words and has already subconsciously tricked you into ordering the most expensive thing on the menu that makes him the most money. So the branding of Waffle House is both simple and brilliant, and the
As a marketing girly, that is freaking brilliant. I had no idea like about any of these, and that is freaking brilliant. I need to learn more about similar cases just to like, you know, kind of like grow my just like my business knowledge, my marketing knowledge, and cases like this one, they're great teachers. Like, wow.
rest of the business model matches that to a T. Okay, all Waffle Houses are like virtually identical. They're very small. They only seat like 30 people, and you can actually see the cook making you your food. Now, at a glance, you're just like, oh, they're just going for that like 1950s drive-through type of a vibe, which they are, but there's way more to it than that. Because the restaurant is so small, the kitchen never has the opportunity to get bogged down, meaning that they're moving tables very, very quickly. So instead of having one kitchen and 100 customers, you've got one kitchen and 30 customers, and you can just turn those tables over 3 times faster, which pretty much guarantees that every customer is gonna get exactly what they wanted, okay? They're not going in there for 5-star dining. They're going in there because they're hungry and they want breakfast, and now they're gonna get breakfast really quick in a small setting that doesn't feel like a packed restaurant where they have to wait in line to be seated. And I know what you're thinking. What if one Waffle House just reaches its maximum capacity, right? What if it's just completely full with a line out the door 24/7 every day of the year? Waffle House surely would build a bigger Waffle House, right? No, we're gonna take the same parking lot, and right next to that first Waffle House, we're gonna build a second fucking Waffle House, okay? The plan is working, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. Because their menu is overwhelmingly simple, okay? It's literally one side of one piece of paper. Okay, the entire menu is comprised of like 10 things. They have waffles, sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, toast, biscuits, gravy, butter, and syrup. Guess how many flavors of syrup they have? 1. It's fucking syrup. Hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10.
I have no idea what hash browns are. What are they? Like, let me see the picture.
Exactly how it's supposed to be. Oh, sorry.
I still have no idea.
Sorry, they have hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10. Anyways, moving on. Another reason they do so good is they actually might be the best fast food chain when it comes to taking care of their employees. They pay them higher than average. They have soup. Do it.
Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this point. Like, I'm all for the show must go on, and it's a good idea to always keep it open, but like, I hope that he's exaggerating here, that they don't actually stay open when there's immediate danger. Like, if there's a freaking flood, please close it. Like, I get it, but I just hope that he's exaggerating here a little bit, you know?
Thank you.
And you'll never have to.
Okay, McDonald's can barely get their employees to show up on a good day, and Waffle House has employees volunteering to commute into a fucking hurricane to make
Wait, how can we be sure that they're volunteering? Sorry, I have to like be a little bit like the lawyer of the devil here. I mean, oh gosh, is that just an Italian expression? L'avvocato del diavolo? We say that a lot, but like, I'm sorry to point out these details, but how can we be sure that they're actually just like volunteering to do so? Like, if they're getting a good pay, and if they're just like, you know, they get a nice bonus or whatever for doing it, technically it's not volunteering. So sorry, I want to be the advocate of the devil or lawyer of the devil or whatever.
breakfast. And this is the most impressive part of the business because Waffle House has the restaurant. You can drive a car
That
into
has
Waffle
happened?
House and they're still planning on staying open. The playbook even has detailed plans for every type of disaster for what the local employees, while they're not working, should go home and do to make sure that their house and their family are safe as well. Every single Waffle House has a backup generator. The stovetop, it runs on propane and they have a bunch of extra propane tanks on hand. Flashlights, candles, batteries, backup water. They have a special menu of what they're able to serve when the water is out and they're running on reserve
Really?
water. When a Waffle House location is going to be in a disaster area, that Waffle House stocks up on extra food, and then all of the neighboring locations in the unaffected area also stock up and stage food there to get them more food when they need it. If Waffle House is a standing structure, those motherfuckers are serving breakfast come hell or high water.
I'm not leaving.
Okay, I mean,
I'm not leaving.
again, I hope that we're exaggerating a little bit here.
Waffle House is so good at this
I'm sure
that
that we are.
FEMA uses them to gauge how bad natural disasters really are. Yes, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency,
What?
literally uses the Waffle House Index to gauge how bad a disaster is. Okay, green, Waffle House is running as normal. Yellow, Waffle House is using the backup generator or having to use an altered menu.
Really?
Red, Waffle House is closed. People are probably already fucking dead by that point. Waffle House is literally the Terminator of the fast food industry, okay? The fact that the federal government, probably the most
What?
powerful entity on the planet, maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if Waffle House is closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys
I
are thinking
wonder
the same
how
thing I
often it
was
did
at this
happen
point in
that
my
they
research,
closed
and
it.
I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This
Yeah.
company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original two founders. And while they do allow franchises, they are super picky about who they let buy in to have a
Fair,
franchise,
fair.
and they make it very, very expensive to buy in to make sure this is actually what you want. And while that is unfortunate, I think it's actually kind of awesome. It's a company that actually has morals and cares about their image more than they care about next quarter's profits, okay? It's a company that has committed themselves to making breakfast under any circumstances, and they're gonna see that through till the very end, even though they could probably make way more money by just selling franchises and letting whoever the fuck throw up a Waffle House. And now for the fairy tale ending, Joe and Tom worked together as best friends for 62 years to build Waffle House into what it is today. They both passed away at the ages of 97 and 98, and now Waffle House and their legacy lives on as that company is still being operated by their kids, and that
That's nice.
is the American dream. Get together with one of your best friends, pick a goal, even if it's something as simple as serving breakfast to people, and never let anything get in between you and achieving your goal, even hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, apparently. Work with your best buddy for 62 years straight and then die together and hand it off to your kids. In
I mean,
conclusion,
that's the
Waffle
dream,
House
yeah.
is the most
That's the
American
dream,
company
that's the
ever,
dream.
and that's why I love it. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Wow, this was so freaking informative. First of all, I'm still feeling ashamed for that Joe Rogan or whatever it was gag that I did. Sorry, people, don't get mad. I got confused. But to the company itself, they are brilliant marketing geniuses, and I freaking adore what they did, to the point that actually I might try to see if there's some literature about like their specific case, if I can learn a little bit more about their marketing strategy, because what they did is absolutely brilliant and I can definitely learn from that. Also, I love that they treat the employees right. Wait, I always confuse, sorry, in English, employer and employees. Employer is the one that hires you, employee is the one that works. Or maybe the opposite. Well, I like that they treat the workers with respect and, you know, like healthcare and all of that. Those are very important things, and I personally value them. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm a little, I don't know, confused about that situation of trying to never close, because again, I think that there was a little bit of exaggerating here in the video. I think and hope that they do close when there are like actual big emergencies happening. Like if there's a freaking massive hurricane that might create damage and and bad stuff. I really hope that they just like close down. And I get it that the people that work there can go home and whatever, but like somebody else still has to come. So that was like the only point of the video, but I'm like, I don't know, but anything else just seems freaking wonderful. And yes, it is the freaking dream to be able to do this your whole life and leave this heritage to your kids, isn't it? Guys, if you are from the US or if you have ever visited the US, let me know if you have tried Waffle House. I obviously haven't because I've never been in the US, but I like waffles. I actually have a little waffle maker that was kindly gifted to me by a community member on Throne, the site with my wish list and stuff, and I use it quite often because waffles are delicious. Thank you so much for watching this one with me, and I'm gonna see you guys soon. Bye!